Today our episode is going to look a little bit different than our previous episodes. I wanted to take a pause in our series to address some questions that we've had about what life is like as an expat living in Paris. In my previous episode with Oliver G, we shot a podcast where we spoke about the 5 golden rules to moving to Paris. Paris is a wonderful city to visit, but it's so different when you're a tourist versus living here and you're local and you've like spent time and you've put roots down. And that was more of like kind of the tips or the warnings of moving here. But I also wanted to speak about the rewards, the pleasures, the joys of why it makes life worth living in Paris. And I'm happy to do that here because this coffee shop has a special place in my heart. It's called La Compagnie de Café. So I really love this coffee shop because it's in the neighborhood of where I used to live when I first moved to Paris, and I really enjoyed like just grabbing my laptop in the mornings, walking down the street, coming here, grabbing a coffee and sitting down at the tables and working for like an hour or two. And this coffee shop actually tolerates that people work here on their laptops, so it was very welcoming for like freelancers. And for me, it was very useful to have that routine and to have like a local spot where I can go every day because I didn't have a 9-to-5 job. I was working freelance in the film industry, and it really grounded me and helped me to be more productive that way. Parfait, merci.
We all know what happened.
There's a misconception I need to talk about because a lot of people think that I am French because I married a French person, but that's not my case. I applied for my French nationality, my French citizenship, before I was married back in 2018, and it took several years for them to give me a reply back about that. Don't forget, COVID was in between all of this, so that delayed the process a bit. When my husband and I decided to get married, we just did a civil wedding. We applied for our marriage certificate. We decided to get married in December of 2021. I was actually already French, officially as of October 2021, but I didn't get my letter until the next year in March, like my official letter telling me that I was French. So I ended up applying for my marriage certificate as a US citizen with all my US documents. Yeah, that's like a little bit more of my story on how I became French. So quiet. This is part of why I love Paris. I mean, there's just like, we're right in the middle of Paris, but it's so peaceful here. Everyone is like reading. There are no kids right now because they're all in school. It's so nice. I was scheduled to move in May of 2013. I got into a really bad car accident when I was in Dallas, actually on my way to the airport to like move to France. I got glass in my eye when I had the car accident, and so I had to like stay home and see a bunch of doctors for that, and I thought I was almost going to be blind in my left eye. It ended up derailing me several months, and I had every reason to not come to France after that. I could have like found work and stayed, and I could have said, oh, it's like wasn't meant to be, it's not for me, but it actually pushed me to go. I truly felt in my heart that I was meant to move to Paris, and ended up moving to Paris in August of 2013. I came with literally just a carry-on suitcase and like $2,000 saved up from my graduation money, and little by little started to ground my roots here and find work. And I did a bunch of jobs, including nannying and working at a bar, while I was also a freelance cinematographer. And yeah, I slowly started to build my life here. It took a lot of time and energy to do that. If you have your dreams, sometimes, a lot of times actually, there will be opposition. What I want to remind people is to keep persevering and to keep going, because it's worth it to pursue your dreams. It's been this incredible journey. I think what people don't expect is that it is such an adventure to move abroad, and there's this challenge in the day-to-day of the challenge of the culture and the language, but that's, for me, is what keeps life interesting. I would have been all right if I stayed in the US and stayed in Texas, but I think my soul needed more. I needed more stimulation, more challenge in my life, and I think being an expat in a foreign country really challenges you, and it's not for everybody, but for those who think it's for them, the ones who are here, who've taken the leap and moved, it really goes to show a lot about your character and the determination it takes, the resilience, the perseverance, because you're just met every day with challenges, but it's so rewarding when you get to accomplish something here. I mean, I have people tell me all the time how inspiring that is to see my story and to see how far I've come. So yeah, I mean, living in Paris is definitely a lifestyle change, but I love it for moments like this where the weather's perfect, the sun's shining, and there are people just sitting out here reading. I mean, there's this slower lifestyle of being able to enjoy your life and taking pauses in your day to go and have a coffee. I think the lifestyle here is so beautiful. We get to sit on a bench and have a sandwich, or sit and read, and just take moments out of our day where we could just enjoy. It's so nice. Thank you for watching Paris with Celine. I love sharing the city with you, and I hope that this series gives you an authentic look at life here. This is the Ultimate Paris Survival Guide. It's the guide that I wrote all about Paris, and the guide I wish that I had when I first moved here. Leaving everything to move to Paris was the biggest leap I've ever taken, and I learned so many things the hard way. Not only do I share pieces of my story in this book, I've also written all about my favorite tips, tricks, and recommendations for the city. Whether you've been to Paris many times or this is your first time, I've made sure the Ultimate Paris Survival Guide truly lives up to its name. It's a true insider's look at Paris, written from someone who takes nothing about this city for granted. The Ultimate Paris Survival Guide can be found on our website, CélineConcierge.com, and it's available both in print and digital formats. There you can also find exclusive products like itineraries, tote bags, postcards, and illustrated print maps of the city. All of our products were designed by local artists and photographers here, who we are so grateful to support. For Black Friday, our entire store is 50% off. So if you have some Francophiles to shop for, you know where to look. So we are on the Rue des Martyrs. This is my old hood. This is where I used to live. I lived in a tiny studio a couple streets down from here. I would come down here to get my veggies, my cheese, my bread, everything. It's so sunny today, I need my sunglasses. One of the things that I love about Paris is that it is so accessible and it's walkable. Contrary to the US, where you go to one supermarket for everything that you need to cook and your drinks and everything, here you have all of these specialty shops. So you've got your cheese shop, the fromagerie, your bread shop, the boulangerie. You have a wine shop, the caviste. When I first moved here, how going out was kind of an adventure. You would take your your caddy, I don't know how you say it in English. You take your little wagon and your little cart. Oh, look, she's got one right there next to us. You take your little grocery cart and you go and collect all your things. I think in Paris, the lifestyle is so different. It's walkable, it's accessible, you don't need a car, which I really enjoyed when I first moved here because I had some trauma from that car accident that I spoke about earlier, but it's part of the whole like local Parisian experience, and it's fun and it's so enjoyable. And that's what I meant with like when you're integrating in the city, like you start to get to know all these local people and they start to recognize you from the boulangerie. And yeah, it's a beautiful way to live. The lifestyle is just so different. Another reason I love Paris is because it has something for almost everybody. This city is so accessible. You could be a student here, you could be single, you could be in a couple, you can find love here. You could be old, young. Earlier we just saw this little old lady walking her dog. Like, the city is so diverse. There's such a variety of people here. You can be a family, you can have kids here. If you love music, there's a place for you here. If you're a traveler, you love traveling Europe, you love traveling the world. What Paris can offer as well is that it is like so central in Europe, and it's such a big city. There are two main airports here that you can access almost anywhere in the world, anywhere in Europe. And traveling around Europe is quite low cost, so it's very easy to visit other places around Europe as well. Hey guys, if you are loving this content, as always, don't forget to leave us a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing from our community. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us to gain visibility and to continue making videos like this for you guys to see. The story of my name change. I wanted to explain the story of my name because I've gone through several evolutions. We can call them reinventions of my name. So my parents named me Celine Flores. Funny story, when my parents knew that they were gonna have a girl, they saw the name actually Celine on a Mustang in the 90s, okay? It was actually spelled S-A-L-E-E-N. And I'll show you a picture of it because it's really funny. So my dad saw this and he was like, oh, Celine, that's a really pretty name. So when I was born, my mom was actually the one who like put it on my birth certificate, and she spelled it differently. Yeah, there's just so many different ways I think to spell my name. Spell my first name S-E-L-E-N. When I was growing up in the US, a lot of people would always call me Céline because there was an E missing, which is the American spelling of it, S-E-L-E-N-E. From childhood to adolescence, I had a lot of trouble with just using my name, and people would pronounce it so many different ways that when I came to Paris, the same thing was happening as well. But when I started my business, I decided to add the E onto Celine so that my clients would know how to pronounce Celine and that I was the Celine of CélineConcierge. My true goal living in France was eventually to become the French Celine and to spell my name C-E-L-I-N-E. And when I actually applied for my French citizenship, they allow you to either adopt a French spelling of your name or a French name. So when I made my application, I actually asked them to change the spelling of my name. And when I got my French citizenship, they said yes. So I am now legally and officially Celine, spelled C-E-L-I-N-E. And it's really cool because they let people who are coming to France and want to be French to more easily integrate into society. So now I'm officially and legally Celine, spelled C-E-L-I-N-E. I'm also in the process of changing my name in the US so that my name is the same on both continents. The other part to my story with my name is that when I got married, I adopted my husband's last name, but I also kept my last name, so I've hyphenated it, which is a common thing that a lot of women are doing these days. So my official name now is Celine, spelled C-E-L-I-N-E, Flores Tavuchoglu, and that encompasses all the different parts of my identity, the French, the Spanish or the Latin side, and the Turkish side, because my husband is half French, half Turkish. His last name is Turkish, and that is the story of my name. One of the obvious reasons why I moved to Paris was for the architecture. I mean, this city is so beautiful. Look at behind me. When you step outside of your house, you're just met with the beautiful architecture, the windows, the doors, everything is stunning. And I love that about Paris. I mean, the city is just so beautiful with its Haussmannian architecture, and people could be like, they could have their office going past Invalides or the Louvre, and you're like literally living and working in history. Thank you to all of our subscribers, and thank you for watching till the end of the video. I just wanted to say stay tuned for next episode because we have a big reveal we're going to be sharing with everyone, and we may not be in Paris, so leave a comment below to guess where you think we'll be. All right, see you in the next episode.